We are excited in our next podcast to have Alabama tourism with us. Tourism is a major economic driver for the state of Alabama. So tune into this podcast with Alabama Tourism, JoJo Terry, and Mountain Lakes Tourism with Melea Hames.
All right, well, good morning, ladies. Welcome to our podcast. If you'll take a few minutes and introduce yourselves to us and what you do and all the fun things. Go ahead, JoJo.
I'm JoJo Terry with Alabama Tourism Department, and my position now is Special Projects Director. So
JoJo is very special, so that's a really good place.
Yeah, that is a good spot for you.
Perfect place to have.
Excellent spot for you.
So I'm on the Main Street Alabama board. Yay. And I really enjoyed it these past years. And I do special projects like I just finished Venture Out, which was a Year of Trails event down in Gulf Shores and Orange Beach.
Great. And?
And I'm Melea Hames. I'm the social media manager and podcast host for Unexpected Adventures in North Alabama, and I work with Alabama Mountain Lakes.
All right. So we want to talk a little bit about how the tourism vision aligns with what Main Street Alabama does. So I come from Kansas, which they call us the flyover state. It makes me very, very sad. You should actually drive through slowly, spend a lot of money on your way to Colorado. No, Kansas is lovely, but it's not known as a tourist mecca. Alabama clearly is. So when I moved here, the tourism side of what happens in Alabama is a very big economic driver for the entire state. And we have been blessed with Main Street Alabama to have great support from tourism. In fact, a couple of years ago, we were able to host the National Main Streets Conference and could not have done it without the help and support of Alabama tourism. So I just want to give JoJo a big old thank you.
It was our pleasure.
It was a blast really taking time to introduce, because Main Street is a nationwide organization, to introduce people coming from other states who'd never been to Alabama, never thought about coming to Alabama, to have them come in for a conference and really put on the Southern charm. It was great. So can you tell us a little bit about how your vision aligns with what Main Street Alabama does to revitalize downtowns and historic districts and how that ties together?
Well, the Alabama Tourism Department, our main mission is to promote Alabama as a vacation destination. And so in order to do that, we need to have things that would interest people. And we have beaches, and we have the mountains, and we have wonderful waterfalls, but we need other things too. And so revitalizing some of these smaller towns and giving people something else to see, something that's authentic.
Yes.
Where they can go and eat at a meat and three or
that's so Southern.
Yeah.
It is Southern.
So it just goes right with our mission. And so by helping the overall Main Street Alabama organization, it helps all these little smaller ones because y'all see the need more so than we do and can put out grants and help these people. So
we try really hard. So we have several communities in North Alabama, and you're with Alabama Mountain Lakes. So we talk a little bit about how you all work with downtowns and small towns.
Yeah, we've got several Main Street areas in our region, and I kind of feel like the Main Street Alabama, it provides, the destination, it provides all the things that we love to promote, because people are looking for, unique destinations. And sometimes people don't want to go to places where there's millions of people. I mean, those are all on our bucket list, yes. But a lot of people want, just a slow, like Southern hospitality, slow Southern vacation, the meet and threes, the cute little coffee shops, the murals downtown, the events on the courthouse square, those are just kind of dreamy little destinations and little vacations, getaways.
Well, and how you can connect with trails. We've been talking a lot about the trail connectivity to our districts as well. So that's important. I think when you come into a district too, you're looking for character.
Yes.
And we've talked a lot about historic preservation on the podcast as well, but the importance of when people built these communities, they put their names on the buildings. They meant for this to last a long time. And I think sometimes we need to think about the characters that are in our communities as well. We were in Centerville yesterday and getting ready to go into their cute little coffee shop downtown. It was really neat. And their owners were fabulous. It was so much fun to just talk to them and get a little bit of history about it. You wouldn't get that necessarily. I like a Starbucks as much as anybody else, but it was a whole different story, a whole different feel, a whole different, fried green tomato BLT.
Yeah.
Because I had Shelley with me. I said, that's not going to be a regular BLT. It's going to be a fried green tomato on there. I need you to know. I need you to know what's going to be on here. So I think it's important that in Alabama, hospitality is fabulous, but we also feed people well. So it's understanding where are the good places to eat that are not, something that you would get anywhere.
Yeah.
So that's always kind of a fun thing.
Yeah.
So kind of tying back into that, we've talked a little bit about it, but really talking about how do the Main Street communities, how do they help you guys create your social media posts and your projects and your things that kind of tie back to that authentic draw for people that may not be from Alabama? I mean, you're talking to two people that are interviewing you that neither one of us are from Alabama. So there's that. But how do you guys take what you see in these communities and the events? We just had Tammy and Hunter on and talking about their specialized events that they have within their communities, Heflin and Oxford. So, Athens and Heflin and Oxford and Montgomery and all the different communities. How do you tie back into when you guys are looking at your social media posts and what you do? How does what our communities do tie back into that, and how does that kind of all work together?
Well, I mentioned I host our Unexpected Adventures podcast, and that's one thing that I try to do is to highlight not just the attractions and the restaurants, but the people behind those. I've had several mural artists on there, and going back to Athens and Merchants Alley, and that beautiful, it's just a piece of art. The whole alley is just a piece of art.
It's gorgeous.
And I had Adam Stevenson on, and so he told the story behind that mural, and I don't know if you've seen it, but it's a huge fiddle, there's hands, and so it goes back to his dad and his granddad being musicians, and also the fiddle, the Old Time Fiddlers Convention that's in Athens, and so it just kind of ties his family, but also the local culture, the heritage, the events.
Local Alabama shakes.
Yeah, yes. And there's a mural of her, of Brittany Howard, in that same Merchants Alley. And so that's really neat. And I always ask people at the end of the podcast, since it's Unexpected Adventures, I say, what is something unexpected that you've learned, that you've, whatever you've encountered in, your experience? And I'll say probably 9 times out of 10, it's always something to do with people.
Yeah.
And, those authentic, that just resonates with us, that people's stories inspire us, and they're unique too. So you can't go to another town and find the exact same story,
That's true.
So.
Well, it's like I was saying before, it's about the character.
Yes.
And I was a local Main Street director for 10 years myself, and some of the characters were the funnest part of the job.
Yes.
Some days they weren't fun, but generally they were. But, just the stories and why they'd been in the building so long and how different things had occurred. We were doing the streetscape project in Emporia, and I was back into that. A year of my life I'll never get back, but it looks beautiful. But, road construction, it was wild. But they uncovered under the street a cafe that no one knew about it except the characters, some of the older ones, and it's called the Black Cat Cafe. Nice. And it was, you actually went down a stairwell and then you went in. It was under the street, but it had been forgotten. So that kind of cool stuff. And then of course you always get the tunnels that go from one side to the other. So when people were doing things they weren't supposed to do, you wouldn't have to walk across the street, going from one side to a more red light side, or prohibition or whatever. And we had Carry Nation. We had all kinds of fun stuff in Kansas. But it was really, that's the kind of stories and the background that while it's great to be able to stop a quick place on the highway, go a little deeper, go into these communities and really find out authentic Alabama.
Well, you can, in some of the communities like Foley, did a whole alleyway.
Yeah, Cat Alley.
On Cat Alley is all about the owner of the original phone company, which was called Gulf Telephone.
Yeah.
And he loved cats. He loved them. And I grew up in that area, so I remember there were cats downtown, and it's an alley that ran between a Hotel Magnolia, and the phone company, and he owned the hotel too. So the cats went through the phone company and through the hotel, but when you see that alley with just the cat,
It is so cool.
it's so pretty. But when you hear the story, you go, well, isn't that cool?
Yeah.
I was just talking to Darylyn, and they're looking at having I don't want to steal her thunder, but a dog event in Cat Alley, which is kind of funny. It's really cool. I said, did you get permission to let the dogs in the alley? But it's just so Alabama. It's just so fun.
Yeah.
To kind of take that and learning about the food and the culture. I know that Alabama tourism does the year of things. And I know one time you did the year of 100 dishes to eat before you died?
Well, we
Help me with
did
that one.
the year of food.
Food, yeah.
Maybe 3 times. Did we do it?
There's a
3
lot of
times. We did it with a red tomato, and we did it with a green tomato, and then I forget we did it again. And because people love food, and when we start talking about, food in our area and in our state, because everyone has their special little thing. And
You just made me think about a new idea for our podcast. We could have people bring us food. We could do taste tests on our podcast.
oh, that'd be good.
We could have snacks and podcasts all at the same time.
Yeah, and wineries and breweries. This could
Hey,
really be
we're
fun.
all in on the wineries and breweries too.
We can help you out with
That'll
that.
be our next
Yeah,
guest.
we've got wine
Yeah.
with Alabama.
I like that.
But I think it's really neat when you think about the authentic products that come from Alabama too. I think it's up toward in North Alabama. Is it red cotton?
Redland cotton.
Redland cotton.
Yes.
I
So just
love
thinking
their
about
sheets.
it's
Yes.
these are
I have
these
them
are
on my
products that are based in our state.
Yeah.
Now we can talk about boiled peanuts, pro or con.
Oh yeah, that's good.
I'm not a fan.
Pro or con?
I'm sorry.
Pro.
Don't understand soggy peanuts, so I would be a con.
Oh, I'm totally a con. I'm from Colorado. We don't eat that crap in Colorado. Are you kidding me? No.
That was
Not a thing.
I got those introduced to me going, I don't quite understand this. But I really love fried okra. I'm a big fan.
Oh, I
I've
do
never had fried
too.
okra before.
definitely.
Never had fried green tomatoes before.
I mean, I feel like everybody loves fried chicken.
Oh yeah, the chicken's great.
yeah.
I mean, just very
Well-
authentic grits. I didn't eat grits.
You eat them now, don't you?
Of course. But I went to the grocery store and I was looking for malto meal. And because that's what I grew up on. And I asked one of the guys or girls at the grocery store, I'm looking for malto meal. And they go, why? I'm so confused. He goes, let me tell you how to. But it was a great experience. I went, well, okay, I'll try it. And grits are pretty darn good.
Yeah, they are.
So, but cheese,
I like them.
shrimp,
Yeah.
Clearly, we're all
cheese and shrimp.
hungry.
We're getting close to lunchtime here, but when you're talking about the year or food, I really love how Alabama tourism does these years of. I know you've done the year of downtowns and small towns before
Yes.
too.
And this year and last year was the year of trails. So we've done that twice. We've done all kinds of year of things, year of sports, and that didn't resonate too much. But sport tourism is a big thing in the state of Alabama, especially in South Alabama. Sport tourism is great.
The travel that we talked about it on the podcast with Tammy and Hunter about the travel ball and and the trails and what was the 325-mile trail? I'm going, oh, yeah. But, people do that, and how they get off and how they want to see things, or at least get a hot shower and, resupply.
There's
so trails are a big
trails. Everyone's gotten on the trail bandwagon. Even Foley, in downtown Foley, they have that Rose Trail.
Oh, that's right.
So it goes right through downtown, and it's all accessible. Which they also have a walkover.
That's great.
They have a walkover, Highway 59, which is about the busiest highway ever, because everyone's going to or from the beach.
Yeah.
And but it has a elevator, so it's accessible. I have a grandson that's that uses a wheelchair, and so he can get up and go over and come down. Yeah. So it's the same thing with older people that have to use chairs, or they have to use rolling walkers. What do you call them? Rollators.
Rollators.
Is that what they're
My
really
mother
called?
called it her buggy.
Yeah, they really are.
That's the third thing I've learned today.
Mom wanted her buggy. Well, I think a lot of our communities are really starting to pay more attention to the alleys. In some cases, like Foley, because the main drag is so doggone busy. If you want to have, it's not like you can shut down that road. You can't to have a block party or anything like that. There's too much traffic. So utilize the alleys as an opportunity. It really helps the businesses understand that the backdoor entrances are very viable for you. You really need to look at it. In some cases, when getting off the tourism topic, but not really, when these buildings were built, they were anywhere from 2,500 to 5,000 to 10,000 square feet. They're big buildings. And retailers don't need that much, because we have just-in-time, most of the time, able to get your stuff. You don't have to have all your stock, months and months of stock. So it's just a different world. You don't need that much square footage. But if you're really looking at using both sides of your building and redoing alleys, then you can have two businesses in one building easily. So it really is kind of a nice way of connectivity and going, yeah, you can come through the back door, and yeah, we got this. But Foley has done a fabulous job.
They have to, even though, I went to school there, and it might be one of my favorites, but they have done a great job. And they have downtown, they have 3 coffee shops.
The
Who has 3 coffee shops? So, and they all have a different vibe.
They've very, very different vibes.
And they all have good coffee.
They do. Coffee is important. Coffee is life. So
My morning medicine.
It's mine.
Great. I'll go to you.
Oh, okay. Well, that's cool. Can you share an example of how tourism-driven initiatives have strengthened the Main Street districts? So let's start with you, since you're up in the north part of the state. We've talked a lot about beaches, not a lot about mountains. So let's
talk about mountains.
Let's swap to mountains a little bit
And some
here.
lakes. Yeah.
Well, going along with the trails, because that's one thing that we try to follow along with the state. We kind of piggyback on that and highlight, whatever they're doing. We're like, oh, we can highlight. We've got stuff that we can highlight. And I always tell people that we have trails for days. We've got a trail for everything.
You do.
And one thing that we've done in the last couple of years is created free digital passports for several of our trails. The music trail, which is brand new, the wine trail, the craft beer trail, our Patriot Trail, golf, mural, barbecue.
It's a lot of trails.
Cave.
I hope I got the ones that have the passports, which we do have a waterfall trail, but it doesn't have a passport. We need a cave trail.
You do.
We
That
do.
sounds
need
like
I came across one.
I'm
I'm going
write
to
it
do
on
a
my
road
list.
trip. When I get it done, I'll send it
There
to
you
you.
go. We can do our
We
North
share.
Alabama cave.
You should
We
share.
share.
That's great.
Yeah.
Share.
Yeah. But one thing that the passports do is, say if somebody's going to go and look for murals, they don't just put a blinder on, like, oh, we're only looking for murals. They are in the downtowns. They're finding the coffee shops. They're stopping for lunch. They're going in the boutiques. We had a little side quest the other day. Some of my coworkers and I going to another destination, and that's what we did. We looked up a couple of our murals. We stopped in for coffee. We went in the boutiques, and I said, y'all, we're doing exactly what we want people to do.
Yeah.
We're doing it.
Yeah.
We're practicing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then when people can take several trails like the mural, the waterfall, the wine, the barbecue, and they put it together, and then it's a whole destination. And of course, in tourism, we're all about heads and beds, so we want people to stay. I mean, the day road trips are fantastic. Yes,
Oh,
do
they are
that.
great,
But
yeah.
the weekend road trips, when you're in a hotel, you're eating,
And you're seeing
shopping,
all the cool stuff in the district,
Yes.
and you can walk to
Yeah.
everything. Yeah, it's
really
Well,
good.
and you can go to another main street too,
Yes.
because
Yep.
so
Close
many of
by.
them are so close together. It's like a little circle tour.
little region. Yeah,
Bunch
that you
Yeah.
of
could go to.
base
Like you
and
could
then
go to-
spread out.
Yeah, Decatur. You could go to Florence, Decatur, Huntsville, and Scottsboro.
Yeah.
Oh, easily.
Athens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Throw Athens in there, throw Madison in there. There's
Yeah.
other ones you can put in there.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I'm gonna have to go back and check out those trails to make sure we have all those linked on our Sweet Hometowns website. So.
yeah. So it is a good, what we have done on our Sweet Hometowns website is we have broken it up by regions. And what we did is we followed the Council of Governments regions just because that was a map that was already there. But you can click on a region and say, if you want to look at just this region of doing things, and we're trying to do that connectivity. So we'd love you to look at it and tell us.
Yes,
what we're missing.
absolutely. We'll
Well,
send it to
We
you.
continue to improve it.
I had decided. Did I tell y'all that one of my jobs is to update the road trips
Why, no,
that
you did
we
not.
have on our website, which are embarrassingly outdated. So I am updating those, but I have been given permission to do some new ones. That's why I was going to do the cave. But I'm going to the Sweet Home,
Hometown
your
website.
your website, yes.
SweetHometowns.com.
And okay, I usually Google it and it'll come up. But I was going to do little clusters of road trips with those and follow your lead.
Well, we're super excited if you're going to do that because we'd
I
like to
am.
hear back and see what. Because all of our communities keep their pages updated on that website. So we try to make sure
I
that
will.
everything's updated and fresh.
And we are doing, we do site visits to our communities every year to just, and one of the questions we ask is, where are you at on your sweethometowntours.com website? Is it updated? But also we have signage for all of our cities. So again, we've been going around seeing how people have, where they have their signs hung up. So if you see a Sweet Home Towns, it says Main Street, Alabama.
Designated
I don't know what it says.
community.
They're fabulous. They're green, but it says sweethometown's.com. So you see the website there too if you want to connect. But
Well, if you go straight down 65, you've got so many that are just like a spit off of the
A spit? Can we use a
little
different word than a spit?
Well, whatever.
Maybe a fork? So we're talking food. Let's do a fork.
a fork.
Where if you're doing a big road trip and you're coming in from Chicago and you wanted to drive, it gives you a little break. You can go to Athens and do downtown
hang out
and
all
have
day and eat at 12 or 13 different restaurants.
right.
I mean, if you're
And
coming back
lots
from
of
Nashville, you need to
boutiques
stop in Athens because that's a long drive, even though it's not a long drive.
It's because of the traffic. But
Yeah.
or what you
Been in
did
car
the
a
night
while.
before.
No, well, okay, I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying.
well, believe it or not, we're almost up on our time. So
Oh, we are. We had
it
fun.
always goes
getting
really
started,
fast. Is there anything else you'd like to share? I want to give you your time to tell us things that we didn't pre give you questions on. So I feel like JoJo always tells us what she's going to never worry about
We
her.
just want, this is the thing with the Alabama Tourism Department. We are not allowed by state law to promote Alabama as a vacation destination within the state.
We can.
And we do.
And we do.
We can so.
I think, this is JoJo Terry's personal opinion, not the opinion of tourism, but
Do you want to do an exclusive official disclaimer or anything on that?
That's a little, because Alabamians love
Alabama.
Alabama.
We're beautiful.
And with the gas prices so high, they may not
Staycations.
afford to go over to Georgia or Louisiana or go down to Florida, so they can stay
And
here.
you know, if you're stuck on 65, just cut off and go to one of our cities. I mean,
Right.
There's a lot less traffic than
Lot
there
less
is on
traffic,
65.
Yeah.
some beautiful back road drives in Alabama.
and
so-
you could get stuck.
Well, I'm not saying
In a good
dirt
way.
roads.
No, I meant on 65.
You could get
Yeah.
stuck on.
Oh, I thought you were talking like my cousin Benny stuck. I was
No,
a little
no,
worried
no,
there
no,
for a
no.
minute.
Like, not those back roads.
No. Mm-mm. No, I have been down one of the two of those, but no.
I grew up near those. so.
Melea, is there anything you'd like to add as we kind of close this out?
I just, we love the Main Street, the whole initiative, all our Main Street areas in our region. They do fantastic jobs. And I just, our job is to find those places, to promote those places. And then, the Main Street, Alabama, it's y'all's job to make sure there's something there
Yes.
when people get there. So it's kind of like peanut butter and jelly. So,
We help you put the there.
yes, exactly. Yeah.
Well, I know when I first arrived in Alabama, one of the first books that was given to me was The 13 Ghosts of Alabama.
Oh, I love that book.
It's a kid's book, but it's
Nightmares.
fabulous. But that's one of the first things I did. Was I drove around and I looked for, I went
did
to
you
all the
look for
different
all the
places and
ghosts?
looked for the ghosts. And the one with the face in the courthouse, I was going, that's not there. That's not there. Until I heard this dad telling his little kid, you can see it right there. And I went, I think I see it. So you can be convinced. The little kid was like, I see it. I said, I think I do see it. Maybe it's there. So there's tons of things to see
That
here.
could be a road trip.
There you
a
go.
road trip. It was
Add
fun.
that to your list, JoJo.
I enjoyed it because I did. Just like you said, I kind of pinpointed out going, how many of these can I get to?
Yeah, in one
Like,
day.
on this weekend I'm going to go to this side, and this weekend I'm going to go to that side. It's fabulous. That's a whole nother day of ghosts in Alabama. You could do the year of ghosts. There you go. I'm in it.
Boom.
I'd be all
Oh,
over
I
it.
was not supposed to hit
Yeah,
the
you're not
table.
supposed to hit the table. We're
Sorry.
horrible. No, well, thank you. We so enjoy working with Tourism North Alabama Lakes. You guys have been fabulous to us, and of course, Alabama Tourism has been a partner with Main Street from day one. So
Because we love Main Street.
we love you
We
back.
love those little towns, even though we have a couple of urban areas too.
We
But
do.
We do. I mean, there's great things to see. Our bigger Huntsville, Birmingham, Montgomery, and Mobile. Got to name all the big cities. I mean, there's great things to see there too, and,
Yes.
and you need to kind of take a bite of those and not get overwhelmed. So you can go into a particular district. We just spent last week on branding in the historic 4th Avenue Business District, and I thought, I've been working in that district for a long time.
Yeah.
I kind of thought I knew a lot of the stuff, and I saw new things. And new enthusiasm and new excitement about what's going on. So that's how you kind of take a bite of it at a time and don't get overwhelmed. There's lots to see and lots to do. So just keep on coming back.
Well, and if you haven't listened to it, we do have a podcast with Roy Stoves from
Yes.
Historic 4th Ave. So if you haven't had a chance to listen to that podcast, I highly recommend you do that as well.
Well, thank you for tuning in. As you can tell, we all have a good time. Appreciate you taking time with us today, and we'll see you on the next podcast. If you have questions that you would like to pose to us on maybe future episodes of the Sweet Hometowns podcast, just send those to info@mainstreetalabama.org.
You can learn more about Main Street Alabama and the Sweet Hometowns Initiative at sweethometowns.com or follow us on Facebook and Instagram for updates and episode highlights.
The Sweet Hometowns podcast is a production of Main Street Alabama in partnership with Video Visions Media Marketing.